I am making this video because I, like many Americans, have been sitting by and watching what has been going on in our federal government and with the Trump administration, the Democratic Party, and the Republican Party. I have, like many people, have become um, just basically, I'm disconnected with our present government. I'm disappointed and been disillusioned. I feel like we have been constantly let down and we're constantly going through a process that should have never gotten to this extent. Now, how do I look at this? Well, first of all, let's look at what the Democratic Party has done. 2 years ago, they began an investigation into the Trump administration, costing over $20 million, resulting in what was called a Mueller's report. Mueller was not allowed to complete his job, or did the Democrats do anything, and it was all based upon a memo from the Department of Justice. Now let me specify, it was a memo. A memo is not a constitutional amendment. A memo is not a law. The only people that can make law is the Congress. The only people that enforces the law is the Department of Justice. And the people who decide the constitutionality of the law is our court system. Democrats never challenged the memo. They let the memo stand. The result, nothing. Now they are impeaching the president because of something he attempted to do with Ukraine. Where's the memo? Where's the sitting president nothing can be done to him because he's a sitting president? Had the Democratic Party did their job at that point in time, we wouldn't be where we are now. If the Democratic Party wants America and the independent, which is a very large group of us independent thinkers, people who have left the Republican Party and the Democratic parties because we believe they have become ineffective and basically a cult-like followings. If they want the support of us independents, then the Democrats need to come out from under the shadows and say the reason why they didn't even attempt an impeachment when they had the president dead to rights. How do you expect the American public to go with you on an impeachment on something he tried to do when you failed to impeach him for something he did do? Now, his guilt or innocent, I know the president is corrupt. The whole administration is corrupt. But the issue is the way this has been done. That is where my problem rests with it. Something needs to be done. To me, the Ukraine was bad, but it is nowhere near as bad as what he has done to American security. He has made America. He has made America more vulnerable to a terrorist attack, either domestically or foreign, because of his domestic and his foreign policies. I'll explain. He's locked thousands of children up in cages, separated many of families, sweeping immigration that is basically the most racist I've ever heard of. The people that he have hurt that are still in America, the people he have hurt, are now resenting America. They're resenting Americans. They're resenting democracy. They're resenting everything that we thought we stood for. But this resentment grows into hatred. With hatred comes vulnerability. Therefore, somebody from out of the shadows can step up and walk up to one of these kids and give them something and says, walk into a mall and shoot somebody. Walk into a political convention and blow it up. Walk into a school and blow it up. That is the insecurity that he has now made us. Now, with that, he took something from the United States military that they would take years, if ever, could get back, and that is the simple premise that they have lived for. We leave no soldier behind. And you pulled America out and left the Kurds hanging in the wind. These are people that know our military secrets. They know how we do investigations. They know how we track people that needs to be dealt with, like other terrorists. All this information they have. What if that information decides to be turned against us because of what you did, what the administration did? And nobody's looking at this. Nobody's looking at the fact that America is less secure now than we were pre 9/11. Every day you go out, you have to be vigilant and observant to make sure what is going on around you is logical. To see something, say something is now the most important thing that should be a part of your life right now. Now, we can go and look at the fact that this president is a misogynist, he's a racist, he's an opportunist. He's not good for America. But what do we do about it? And how do we prevent this from happening again? America, I believe that there needs to be a public advocate in every office, from the president to your local city council. I believe it has to be somebody that comes from the community. That's somebody who is protected, who cannot be fired because he tells the truth, that he does his job. I believe also, with the recent events as to what I have seen this administration do, that maybe some of the president's powers need to be curved. Maybe they need to be reined in and reevaluated. Because while I believe that our foreign diplomats work at the pleasure of the president, they cannot be working for the pleasure of the president if the president is being abusive. And that if they don't carry a certain message that he wants done, they are out of a job. How is that fair? And that is not the way we want our democracy to be looked at. That's not the way we want America to be seen. So something needs to be done. Either it's going to be done at the voting box, or it's going to be done in the impeachment. Everyone who works in the White House, you have to now consider something. This president is going to be a one-term president. So in 2020, by 2021, you're going to be no longer working in the White House. You're going to have to return to the communities where you came from. The communities that have been affected by the decisions that you are a part of. Even if you didn't make the initial decision, some of you carried them out. So now you're going to have to return to them communities. How do you think you're going to be received? The people that you've hurt, how do you think you're going to be received by them? We are a better country than what I am seeing every day on the news. I believe in America. I'm an independent. And I believe there needs to be an independent movement. I believe there needs to be a change, and the change has to start somewhere. Democrats, you need to apologize to the American public for taking so long to do what you're doing right now. And then you need to tell the American public why it has taken you to this length of time. Now, I have my ideas, but I'd rather it come from you and from our media. This is to you. I am so tired of you bringing on all these commentators and all these people that claim that that they speak for us. Bring somebody from the community who's not in there with $1,000 suit and a $50 tie. Bring a regular Joe in there and ask them sitting at your desk. And that's Don Lenham. That's Mr. Kumo. That's CNN, MSNBC. Bring somebody else in there. Bring a regular citizen in there and listen to what he has to say. Because we do not need to keep hearing from pundits. We do not need to keep hearing from politicians saying that they're speaking for us. Hey, no, they're not speaking for me. Right now, I don't think nobody's speaking for me. Matter of fact, nobody is speaking for me because you know what? Nobody asked me. And if you want to talk about this whole idea of polls, let me tell you something. Polls are about as good as salt on. Polls are not the most accurate perception of how Americans feel. Why? Because the majority of us don't answer polls. Sometimes when you answer polls, you answer just to get the person out of your face. But here's the number one thing you need to remember. It's not what you ask, it's how you ask it. You can always lead a person to the decision to the answer that you want. Do you think the president should be impeached? No, I'm a Republican. I do not think he should be impeached. But do you think the president who has committed high crimes and misdemeanors and has risked the security of the United States, should somebody like that be impeached? Well, if he committed crimes, yes, I think he should be impeached. Well, then you think the president should be impeached. That's how easy it is to manipulate a poll. I ain't a professional, as you can see. I'm just a regular Joe. I'm just a regular American that's watching what's going on, and I'm getting tired of seeing what I'm seeing. I want more American people speaking up. This is my outreach to the community. This is Johnnie Thomas. This is my first community engagement tape. Thank you for listening.